Heyo!
All right, time to unbox.
What's going on, nerds? Mark here from Noisy Pixel. Today we have a special brand new case to the market. We are going to unbox, install, and go over the TD500 Max from Cooler Master. Not that it really matters, but we are going to install the Intel Core i9 brand new 24-core processor into this machine. We also have a 4 terabyte internal M.2, an internal SSD, another one. We also have 128 gigabytes of DDR5 RAM and a accompanying motherboard. I don't really care what motherboard I have, but as long as it works with the processor, we're all good.
All right, time to unbox. All right, so we got some brackets, I think, for installing the cooler.
That's AIO cooler brackets down on the couch.
More brackets. I have no idea what this is for. And some zip ties, spacers, and cables for the motherboard. Ooh, this is big.
So the cool part about this case is that it has an AIO built in, and has a PSU built in, 850 watt, and it's all pre-ran, the wires, and you're gonna see later how they are pre-ran, but they're built into the case. But it's a big one. And this is the first look, one of the first cases ever on the market. Let's see. Reveal. It's a nice silver color, right? I haven't really seen it. So it's gonna look like the other TD500s, but it actually has a little bit more pristine look in the front. I feel like the logo has never been metallic. They have like this metallic logo there.
I like the mesh. I'm sorry.
Definitely looks good in the light. It's a pretty stylish looking case though. The plexiglass looks quite high quality. Oh, there it is. Just a quick look at the front here. This is typical nowadays. I'm glad we have a USB-C finally adopting to the needs of the phone charger right at the front, which is great. And let's check power button, click. Typical Cooler Master, click, plasticky but firm as plastic.
Dust mat?
A pristine plastic. Dust mat.
Whoa, these are pre-wired. I'm gonna love this.
So if you look here, inside the case is already everything you need port-wise, already kind of pre-configured.
Radiator already installed. We got an exhaust fan, and the PSU is already installed out of the box. So honestly, did you say this was $399 MSRP?
Yeah, $399 USD.
I gotta check out the back just to see if the wiring on the back is clean as well, because then that would really determine like how easy this whole build's gonna be. Oh wow, it's clean.
Spin it around. There she is.
Yeah, she's a clean one.
So you can see everything's just there. You got this RGB kit thing, or no, is that the case controls? So I'll plug in already?
Yep.
All right, that's the case controls. All right, so this case is supposed to have as well a little secret compartment to hide all your loose screws and extra hardware, because we all know us computer builders like to lose the screws.
And the compartment is just right here. So, little flathead action.
Do you need a flathead? Is that necessary?
If you have long nails.
That's all your screws right there. Extra screws preloaded into the case. There is the internal power supply, the 850 watt gold Cooler Master. And again, you can see that they already have all the wires pre-ran for you, pre-provided into these ports that they have done for you.
These are the screws.
Give you all those different types of screws that you're gonna need. Standoff screws. They gave you thermal paste, cooler brackets, you know, the normal stuff. It is nice to get the paste though. In case I didn't already mention it, the case does come with this back fan here, and as well as the 3 fans for the radiator of the AIO in the front. And then we're gonna add 2 sickle flow 120 millimeters on the top here. Of course, guys, if you have any questions on the case, leave a comment below. I will answer any questions you have if you're confused about anything that comes with this case or how this case is built. Anyway, back to the build. So other than the case coming with a pre-installed power supply, what makes this case extra cool is that they provide you with like shorter length power cables.
It's basically to make the whole build cleaner. So they pre-wired all your power supply wires on the back. You use these to connect this to the power supply that they already pre-wired for you. And then you just connect the motherboard.
The nice thing is you don't have to do any struggling with wires, pulling wires. Even on top of that, the wires that they provide you are shorter and there's no like clutter.
Honestly, looks really clean.
So like that's all you need to have right there. It's already pre-done. So they do provide you with a lot of like monetary value kind of nested into this build. And as long as you like the look of the case, it does make life a lot easier. You can see this is the processor cable, pretty tiny in my hand here. That's the entire thing. So now that the AIO cooler is in place, we can take these two wires, the RGB header and the power, and they conveniently have a little panel in the back like you've seen before, and they left spots for the next gen RGB control back there, which is quite nice. Quite nice of them, if you ask me. I don't have to plug them into the motherboard. As you can see up there, we're gonna have all those open spots. Maybe the biggest negative of this case is probably like this part of it. It just seems a little bit plasticky compared to the aesthetic of the rest of the case, but you know, it's really not that big of a deal. That's just me nitpicking. Just a quick update on the back of the computer. You can see we have most cables ran now. This is kind of an idea of what it looks like as usual. And you can see here that we have our spare scratch SSD mounted in the back to give us more space inside the computer. Alright everyone, that's gonna about do it for the build process. As you can see, we're all finished here. And the case is honestly one of the most convenient, if not the most convenient cases I've ever worked with. I mean, everything is just super clean. The back is a little messy. I don't want to open it up again. There's a lot of wires hanging around here, but you know, that's pretty much expected. And it does shut nice and cleanly after a little bit of brute force here. The only issue we ran in with the case, if you're coming in with a 30 series graphics card with the two sections of pins here, you're gonna need to provide your own PCIe cable because the one they provided, it's only a single pin. And nicely, the case actually provides you with a 450 watt like next gen power cable for the GPUs, but in this case we don't need it, so it actually created quite the problem for us. But luckily I had my own PCIe cable and I was able to set this up. I mean, that's really counterintuitive in my honest opinion to have this whole setup here and then you're gonna have to bring your own PCIe cable to the plate to hook up a 30 series card. They're not really that old, and it is nice to see them accommodate the newer stuff, but they really kind of left the 30 series holders dry here. So that's my only complaint. Not that I'm really reviewing this case, but that's really my biggest complaint. Otherwise, this thing was a dream.
Yeah, it's kind of a shame because the cables that they did provide are, they're kind of slick looking. These cables over here, these cables over here, they have like a nice bend to it. So to have like a different set of cables to use just to power the GPU, it's a
bit of a bummer. Yeah, you would expect it to all be done for you because that's the whole selling point of the case, but you know, that's the only thing you have to watch out for in my honest opinion. Everything else was completely awesome. I think it's time to turn the computer on. I think it's all finished, so let's close her up and here we go.
All right, so for 400 bucks, you're getting a case that has a power supply, 850 watt gold standard rating, and then at most 360 millimeters water cooler. Yeah, I would recommend extra fans like how we did it on top. You don't need to. It would be nice to have extra ventilation, but more fans is always better. And if you really break it down, the water cooler itself is about $150 to $180. Power supply itself is about 100 bucks. So if you do the math, case is probably like $150, $100 to $150. Everything pre-wired, everything in terms of setup is so easy. I totally would recommend it, honestly. You don't have to do any setups for the water cooler and the power supply, and you just plug everything in. It was pretty easy setup, so 100% would recommend.
All right, nerds, so that's gonna be it for the TD500 Max build video. Hope you found this educational. Hope this video helped you make your buying decision if you like this case. If you don't, how to install things, etc., etc. Shout out to my man Jose for helping me install this thing. Shout out to Cooler Master for sending out this beautiful case. Maybe the only thing that's missing is a little more RGB at the bottom, but that's just personal taste here. And that, nerds, is the end of this video. Thank you for sticking it out. My name is Mark from Noisy Pixel. This has been the Cooler Master TD500 Max build video, case, install, and everything. That's Jose in the background.
See you, nerds.
See you, nerds. We'll catch you on the next one.